So the 2024 Mark 8.5 Facelift VW Golf update. We kind of have some more news around this car. As you can kind of see, I've got plenty more images around pricing as well. I'm filming this on the 9th of April 2024. We have some really cool updates to the car to kind of share. So that's basically what this video is going to be about. I'm going to go through all the details that we kind of have here. I'm on VW's official website at the moment in the UK, just to go through everything really around the car. Everything I can find out, you'll kind of hear in this video. My channel is a big community channel, so let me know any thoughts in your comments that you kind of have on it. And the idea is to basically help everyone out at the same time, and particularly for me being a bit of a hot hatch fan and a bit more of a sporty car, they've got more features around the Golf GTI as well, which I'll go in depth into as well. So why am I doing this video today? Well, there's been a little bit of news, and I'll go on to this sort of site. It's on Autocar, and it just basically says how the Golf is going on sale from £27,000 and a few more details around it. They've got some images, but they're quite small, so luckily we've got some better ones to kind of go through as well, and all kind of like the details as well. But I'll read through a little bit of what they've said here. It's had a little bit of a refresh. It's the 50th year on sale for the Volkswagen Golf, and it's going to start from £27,035, and the estate is going to start from £28,400, and order books start from the 11th of April, so 2 days from now. The Golf GTI and the GTE and hybrid models will be available to order in the summer. 3 specification levels are ordered from launch: life, match and style for the traditional hatch-bodied Golf, and life and style for the estate version. R-Line cars will go on sale from the 25th of April, with prices started from £30,285. The R-Line hatchback and the estate, it's £31,650. The Golf R, which is what I'm really interested in, is due later this year, and I'll give a full update on that as soon as that happens. As soon as I hear anything more on my channel, like, share, subscribe if you want to be a part of it. You'll get to see the latest. I film things quite on the day and on the moment, so they tend to be very much up to date. And so the range will kick off from the choice of the 1.5 4-cylinder. You've got the 114 brake horsepower, 148 brake horsepower, turbocharged sort of variants, with and without mild hybrid technology. They've got a reworked version of the 2-litre EA888, which is the main part of the car. If I head back, I've got a little bit on the Audi as well there. Go back to this GTI, some of the images they've got here of the new GTI. Try and level it out. There we go. And they've increased the power of the 2-litre EA888. I have a Golf R myself. They basically used this engine for so many years throughout the Mark 7s and now the Mark 8 and then the Mark 8.5 facelift. And it's increased a little bit of the power as well there. So they've got a 201 brake horsepower car, which that's pretty punchy for sort of like a sub hot hatch. And then they've got a 262 brake horsepower GTI. No manual gearbox. So if you want the manual gearbox, you'll have to get the Mark 8 if you want that. They've then said, this is just on Autocar, the 8th generation Golf was rebooted in a bid to sustain its appeal to the end of the decade, when it will be replaced by the electric Mark 9 Golf. As it turns 50, the German firm's all-time bestseller receives a wide-reaching suite of technology upgrades, usability enhancement, material improvements, and new look inside and out. The powertrain lineup has been revamped too, with the addition of the new long-range plug-in hybrids, revised petrol diesel options, and more powerful for the GTI hot hatch, which will head the lineup until the launch of the revised four-wheel drive Golf R later this year. And it sort of goes on a little bit around its competitors. Styling elements, which will sort of show around the car as well, including that infotainment, which I think is always the big thing. I keep showing this Audi S3, but they've also done an update on that too. The infotainment is definitely the big thing that's been changed, as you can see here in some of the images. It's a big update, I would say, and something that some weren't 100% happy with. Obviously, even Volkswagen weren't particularly happy with it, and which is why they've kind of, they've made some changes. It's got like ChatGPT, so all into the future. A few more physical buttons, as I've kind of discussed as well on previous videos too. But just to finish off a little bit of what they kind of say on this article here. Styling elements that have kind of changed include an illuminated Volkswagen badge at the front, a feature made possible by a recent change in Europe's advertising laws, and a reprofiled front bumper and redesigned air cuts decorated in a honeycomb insert on the GTI. Obvious changes. I mean, it says another obvious change. I haven't really, I've got the old model here as well, just to kind of go over. This is the black edition. It's actually a four-wheel drive, the only four-wheel drive full motion car which isn't an R, which I actually think is quite interesting. So you can kind of compare what the pre-facelift to the facelift car looks like. This is pre-facelift, so it had sort of like the more integrated screen. You had the touch sensitive haptic-y type buttons rather than physical buttons, and things weren't backlit as much, so that's kind of the change. And you can see kind of like the front and the rear. I wasn't like, yeah, I'll be interested to know what you guys think, because you kind of go on to see this video and you see some of the images, and I'm interested to know what you think in the comments. Full motion, I actually think this is quite a cute car. I am actually going to reach out on this video and see if I can get a review on this, because I think that's quite a quirky thing. Obvious changes, I'm not so sure. New look angular LED headlights, which can be optionally specified with VW's IQ HD matrix technology. And remember, this does, it's off the same group of the Audi. So, for example, they've mentioned about the Audi S3 today as well, the facelift. A lot of the technology with like the Audi matrix headlights, it's going to be very, very similar, if not the same, in the VW's technology. So something to think about there. There are new seals underneath the door, as well as more prominent spoiler above the tailgate on the GTI, restyle rear bumper, a new look LED tail lights, 11 different paint colours. The GTI can now be ordered with carbon fibre exterior applications for the first time. So that's pretty cool. The big thing, Volkswagen has provided the upgraded Golf with new multifunction steering wheel. It reverts back to button controls, basically the same as what it was in the Mark 7, like my Mark 7 Golf R, dropping the widely criticised capacitive controls used on the pre-facelift Golf. There are also high quality materials throughout the cabin, so I'll be interested to see what that's like. Hopefully I'll get a good chance to check out the facelift Golf in the future, and I'll share it on the channel. Ahead of the driver is a revised instrument display with new model-specific graphics skins, which can be selected using a new dial on the steering wheel. Crucial to marking out the Mark 8.5 and the pre-facelift Golf is the introduction of VW's fourth generation infotainment system called MIB4, which has already been rolled out on the latest Tiguan, Passat and ID3, as well as the ID7. With quicker processing times, revamped menus and sticker graphics, it runs through either a standard 10.4 inch or optional 12.9 inch touchscreen display, and introduces a new chat GPT powered assistance, voice assistance, which can be used to control the air conditioning, telephone and navigation systems, as well as access the internet. In reaction to criticism of the outgoing Golf's poor ergonomics, the touch slider for the temperature and volume control below the infotainment screen has been revised so that it is now backlit, and new software provides it with speedier reaction times. Wow, there's quite a lot to kind of discuss here as well, so good thing I can get it all in on this video. The Volkswagen Golf, it now has a 360 view camera for the first time, apparently. Park Assist Plus and Park Assist Pro systems for the first time. Volkswagen, so they haven't revealed any power, they haven't any performance claims for the GTI, but it's going to be slightly quicker if it's got more power. We've kind of discussed the kind of models and the power outputs that they've kind of got just previously, so I won't go over things, but I like the idea of the 200 brake horsepower 1.5. That's quite a quirky little car. And then there's obviously the 268 GTI. Oh, the estate looks quite cool. Right, let's get really sort of stuck into it. And on the website here, so this is Volkswagen's website. You can sort of go keep me informed. Obviously, you can't order it yet. I'm filming this on the 9th, but you probably can in the future from the 11th, as I've kind of discussed. And details about the interior as well. Apparently, they've done a few bits on the seats too. They look quite similar from my initial thoughts. This is the big sort of change, and that's why I had it as my thumbnail as well. Okay, ignore the people who are just, I don't know, I mean, he's not even, he might get knocked down. I don't know why he's standing there. I'm looking at the physical buttons on the steering wheel, by the way. It's reverting back to what they did before, but that's because it worked so well in the Mark 7. They've still got some touch sensitive ones at the top there, you can just about see, and they still got the same virtual dash. And for me, an iPad big screen, yeah, I'm interested to know what you guys think, guys and girls in the comments, I should say, on these changes. Now, there is a little video here, but it doesn't actually play anything, so I don't know if Volkswagen are updating something there. But details about the engines as well shown here. Got some nice more pictures of the Golf, and you can just see some of those little extra touches too. Yeah, looks are subjective, so super interested to know what you kind of think about that too. And some of the little changes as well they've got in there. I mentioned the IQ headlights and how powerful they are. So Volkswagen actually say here, they say the optional IQ LED matrix headlights with their high-performance main beam ensure better night vision and can light up the road to a distance of up to 550 meters at night. The matrix technology enables you to permanently drive with main beam without dazzling other road users. In addition, the energy-saving headlights are extremely efficient. And they've mentioned about the voice assistant stuff. See how this guy's really curious about what is going on. Oh, I love marketing, don't you? It's just... Anyway, you get the idea. It's got the new screen, it's got the new touch interface. I've spoken to people who have the original Mark 8. Some people like it, some people don't. Some people will like this, some people won't. It's subjective. It's the way we live in the world. Whatever you prefer. At the end of the day, you've got the best of both worlds. If you prefer the old Mark 8, just get a used Mark 8 or a Mark 8 from the shelf, from stock. If you prefer this one, you can get the facelift. So there's options there, but interested to know what you feel and how you think about it. And it's very much in a world of AI now, so interesting times. Bit of a gallery here, just in the website. It then talks about the Golf GTI, how it's increased by 15 kilowatts to 195 or 265 PS. And the normal 2 litre goes up by 10 kilowatts to 150 kilowatts. And then the R models and the GTI Club Sport as well. Ooh, second half of 2024. That's going to be cool. I mentioned about the GTI, and that's sort of more where I kind of sit on, if I'm honest. I love the GTI. There you can see a few of the changes. I mean, it looks sleeker. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think about these images that you're seeing. Let me know what you think about the facelift, Mark 8.5, the illuminated badge, some of the changes here and there. New sort of, I think it's teledial wheels they've got. The honeycomb grille I've always quite liked with the 5 lights shown on the left-hand side. Nice pictures again there of the Golf GTI sort of set up. Yeah, you've got the pan roof. There you go. It's what it is at the moment. It's what they've been able to do to make the changes. And this is the last Golf, considering it's 50 years of it, probably with a petrol engine, perhaps. Who, if it's going to go all electric in the Mark 9, we'll have to see what the future holds. And the consumer will win in terms of what they prefer to buy. And the fact that they're still making cars like this in 2024 suggests that there are potentially people who want to buy them. So that's good. Comfortable travel. So it has information just around the seats. And actually, it's quite cool. The seats are very comfortable. I've spent plenty of time actually in the Mark 8. They look very similar, if not the same. I don't believe there's any changes on that front. But they've got some cool ergonomics, and actually these videos are pretty funky. 40-60 folding split. They do fold really flat as well. You can fit a lot of things in there. I can vouch for that from having a Mark 7. So that's pretty special. I like how VW kind of showed this on these kind of images as well, and how they individually can go down, etc., etc. It also kind of shows how that looks from the top if the car had no roof. And you can actually see, it gives you a really good idea that basically like half the car then obviously becomes available to stuff. You can get bikes in the back, you can get your kids' stuff in the back. But is this anything revolutionary to the Mark 8? I'm going to probably say not. But nonetheless, you get the idea of what it's all going to be about, certainly from the interior side. The sound system, they've got the Howman Kardon. I know in the past they used to have Dyne Audio. This is obviously the top of the range stuff, 480 watts with a subwoofer, so you get a decent sound. Yeah, it's a good sound system, used in other models as well, like BMW use it quite a lot, the HKs. And they've got a little bit of information about the GTE. Oh, that looks quite striking, that image. And it's supposed to be a bit more efficient. And along with the new Golf Estate obviously can fit a lot more because it's in the estate format. You can't actually go through and order a Mark 8, a new Mark 8 Golf, as I kind of checked on the website. It just kind of tells you like it exists. So if you go explore our models, you've got the new Golf, you can just take a closer look. You can't actually order it yet, but I'll probably do an ordering video when it comes closer to the time. But yeah, that's essentially the update of the new facelift Mark 8 Golf. Now, what do you think? This is obviously subjective in terms of what people think about looks. If I'm giving you my personal opinion, I don't think it looked drastically different than the previous generation. Just perhaps a little bit of nip and tuck here and there. Previous generation being here, for reference. Yeah, little bits of changes. The biggest change, as I've said before, is the inside, the infotainment, how much you kind of use that. I do like the increase of power. I'm super excited to see what the Club Sport models and the R models are going to be a bit more like, and what they're kind of going to add. And I'm really interested to know what it's like to kind of order these cars and to kind of go through those kind of stages with you. Obviously still showing the pre-facelift one, I should say. This is one of VW's press office cars. You can kind of see it in the bottom left there. And yeah, the little revised work. And touching on the Audi as well, obviously it's the same platform. The A3 is the Golf. This is just more, yeah, for people who prefer Audis. And this is the S3, so obviously very on par with the Golf R, and a few of the changes that they've kind of got there. Incidentally, the Audi A3 has, well, the S3 actually, it talks a little bit about how the torque vectoring works. There's loads of details about the car, which is actually super fascinating. I'll perhaps share that in a future video if people subscribe and like for that. I'll certainly show that. But one thing I did just want to touch on before I finished up is the infotainment of the A3 and how it kind of compares to the Golf R. This is the new A3. And you can kind of see it's a little bit more flush, a little bit more flushed into the dash, a little bit more stylish, a lot more physical touch buttons. Well, yeah, it's potentially a step above, but then that's what it is. That's the idea. The Audi is the step above the Golf, just like the Golf is supposed to be a step above the Skoda, but they're all under the same platform and they should work in the same way. It's just, yeah, each to their own in terms of preference. I'm super interested to know your thoughts. I will end it on the most important image that I feel is around, which is probably this one. Thoughts in the comments, and like, share, subscribe. I've got plenty more content to come in the future, and yeah, including some actually really exciting. My next video is really exciting, so yeah, stay tuned for that. And as this is a community channel, let us know your thoughts. If you've got a Mark 8, will you be upgrading to the Mark 8.5? If you've never had a Mark 8, you go for the Mark 8.5 or potentially save some money and get a used Mark 8. I'm quite a big thing on yeah, potentially getting the best deal possible, as I kind of share on my channel. But yeah, as I know more and as more comes out, you'll get to see it here first. Yeah, as long as you're subscribed to the channel. Thanks so much for watching. And if you're subscribed, welcome back. And if you're new to the channel, I'm happy to have you here. And I look forward to hearing your thoughts in the comments. Have a great rest of your day.